want to know Islam without the innovations. I want my people to worship the Creator and not the creation. I want to know what it's like to travel to heaven and back in one night. I want to know what it's like to stand in the shadow of Adam's height. I want to know love, I want to know light. I want to know what it's like to hear the angels recite. I want to know victory before my time here is done. I want to see this ummah united as one.
And one of the reasons I became Muslim is because one of the things that's taught in Islam is love and no differentiation between colors and that sort of thing. It's very inviting for a black American. But subhanAllah, and I've experienced prejudice all my life. I'm from Cairo, Illinois, AKA Kahira, Illinois. And we used to had to get on the floor at night because of the civil war between the Ku Klux Klans and the Black Panthers, and stores being blown up around me. So I know what prejudice feels like. But when I became Muslim, it was put on a whole nother level, almost an unbelievable level. So my question is, because in Islam, one of the basic understanding is that your brother is the one who believes as you believe. But what do I do as a Muslim or trying to be a Muslim, a mu'min, when I'm praying next to my sister from another country, and she won't even touch me? She will purposely move from me to not touch me. And this is supposed to be my sister. Do I accept her as my sister? Do she believe as I believe? Because I will never move away from anybody who snugs up against me.
I converted to Islam when I was 15 years old, trying to escape racism, crushing poverty. My father was a locksmith with a 6th grade education, and I grew up in Northeast DC at a time when it was 99% black, and dealt with systematic racism throughout my entire childhood. And I never met any group of people more racist than the Muslims when I came to Islam. And the systematic discrimination that I faced in this religion as a 15-year-old boy sent me running from you. And it wasn't until I went to Senegal as a 21-year-old young man that my heart started to heal from the damage that had been done, because I came to Islam through a personal spiritual journey. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X in one night, and I read an English translation of the Quran the next night, and I told my mama I'm a Muslim. But then I met this American Muslim community in 1989. And I heard people referred to as Abid. I heard black people systematically ignored. And I was raised largely by hustlers and petty criminals, and I had never met people so unethical as I met in the Muslim community. Because the contempt that they had in their hearts, many of them, for non-Muslims was worse than the racism that I had experienced as a black person at the hands of white America. And that's why if we don't diagnose the problem where it properly belongs, it's in istighbar. Wa Allah la yuhib al-mustakbirin. God don't love ugly, and he don't love arrogance. My brother-in-law walked into Desi Masjid in 1997 with his pants sagging, cornrows in his hair. This is before my wife had even accepted Islam. But he was spiritually suffering, and he walked in with his throwback jersey, sagging pants, and cornrows, and they met him at the door and said, "We think you might be in the wrong place." If we do not remove this scourge from our community, we're of no use to anyone, least of all ourselves, much less anyone else. The Quran is a purely colorblind book. There is not a single reference to hair texture or skin color for any of the actors in the Quran, because God don't see that. It doesn't matter. When the Prophet ﷺ saw Sayyidina Musa ﷺ in dreams and waking visions, he said he was the most handsome of the black men. How many of y'all knew that Moses was what we would describe as a black man? Asmar Shadid Asmara is the way that he described him, intensely brown in color. How many of us noticed that 3/4 of the stories in the Quran take place in Africa? In ancient Egypt, at a time when most ancient Egyptians were blacker than the ace of spades. We don't pay attention to it, not just because we ignore Africa and Africans, but because God in his wisdom chose not to single out human beings on the basis of color. The only partial exception to that truth is the name of our forefather Adam, whose name meant dark brown in Old Arabic. If we can't return to that moment of our creation and be humble as creations made in dirt, the cure for the sin of pride, as related by the great Senegalese scholar Ahmadou Bamba Mbacké, he said, the cure is to ponder your body and how it was created. You begin your life as a nasty drop of sperm, you live your life as a walking sack of feces, and you end your life as a corpse, odious and rotting. You are all the children of Adam, and it is from dirt that you were created. In conjunction with that struggle to actually purify our hearts of a spiritual sickness, it's not that social engineering will remove the problem, but the problem, you can't right a wrong that's systematically been inflicted upon a group of people over an extended period of time by treating everyone the same. That is not how you remedy when the scales have been hugely imbalanced. Colorblindness is one of the most crucial tools in the toolkit of white supremacy. Sometimes explicit racism serves the ends of white supremacy. Sometimes colorblindness serves the preserving privilege and making privilege invisible. God doesn't see a difference between us except for on the condition of our hearts, our taqwa, and our deeds. But we have behaved with one another on the basis of difference, and therefore we have to take action. I have to correct misperceptions about Africa because you've been systematically exposed to misrepresentations of Africa. You have to put something good on the weight of the scales against the bad. If you see an injustice, stop it with your hand. If you're not strong enough to stop it with your hand, speak against it with your tongue. If you fear for speaking against it with your tongue, then turn your heart against it, and that's the least that can be accepted of a believer. That a day is coming when you are going to want my people standing next to you. That day has come. Were you next to us? You want my people standing next to you in your moment of need, in your moment of crisis. If you do not stand with the Beni Israel of this country, and that is my people, prepare to be counted amongst the people of Pharaoh. And you will be drowned. And don't think that your La ilaha illallah wa Muhammad Rasulullah alone will protect you, because God detests oppressors, and he always answers the prayer of the oppressed against their oppressor, no matter their faith.